back for another Talk About It Tuesday, and this is a fantastic question. Listen to this. Warren Buffett once said he pays a lower tax rate than his secretary. Can you break down why and how I can reduce my tax burden? All right, so this is just a classic example of how the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. The good thing is, if you understand why, if you understand the system, then you don't have to keep paying the highest tax rate in the country. So let's break this down. In the US tax system, there are basically three different types of taxes. There's what we call ordinary income rate, and the ordinary income rate goes from 10% for the lowest earners, and that means people basically under $10,000, from zero to under $10,000, you'll pay 10% on your earnings. And there are 7 different brackets based on incremental increases in how much money you make that goes all the way to 37% for people who make about $500,000 or more, pay the highest tax rate, which is 37%. So what is ordinary income? It's the way most people get their money. So we're talking about salaries, wages, tips, commissions, rent, royalties, all the ways that most people earn income. That is taxed at the absolute highest rate possible. So his secretary, who gets a salary, maybe she gets a bonus. And this includes bonuses too. Bonuses, dividends, right? If she's on a salary, she's somewhere on that range of 10 to 37%, right? So let's look at the other categories and let's really examine why Warren Buffett, who's always in the top 5 richest people in the world, has a lower tax rate. So then we have what we call the capital gains tax rate. So the capital gains tax rate is for investors, right? And so if you flip a property, if you trade stocks, if you own stocks, if you own property, so if you're an investor, you have a much lower tax rate. So now let me just explain. We have what we call short-term capital gains rate and long-term capital gains rate. Warren Buffett and most investors take advantage of what we call the long-term capital gains rate. And the long-term capital gains rate, believe it or not, starts at 0%. It goes from 0% to 20%. And it's not based on how much you make in your capital gains. It's based on your earned income rate. So the higher your earned or ordinary income rate, that will determine where you are in the capital gains rate. So if you're one of the lowest, on the lowest level of ordinary income, then you'll pay 0% on your capital gains. And so Warren Buffett, who I don't believe takes a salary, keeps his ordinary income so low that his tax rate is extremely low. So what does that mean? Okay, so I hear a lot of people trying to make money. They want to trade stocks. They want to flip properties. If you do those things in less than a year, if you do that, then you will pay your earned income rate. So it goes back again to the earned income rate, which we know is the highest, from 10 to 37%. If you want to reduce that, then you have to be like Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett will hold his investments, and here's the rule, a year and a day or more, then you get the long-term capital gains rate. So there's another rate that we have to look at also, and that's the corporate tax rate. So the corporate tax rate is a flat 21%. But people are like, whoa, 21% seems high. No. That 21% is not on how much money they make. It's how much money they have left at the end of the year after they spend as much as they want to on anything that is ordinary and or necessary in the course of doing business. So if they make $1 million and they spend $1 million, they pay 0 taxes. And that's how the big corporations don't pay taxes. And to make it worse, if they make a loss, that loss carries over and offsets their income, their earnings for the next year. So, how do you reduce your taxes? You have to reduce the amount of ordinary income you have. And again, we talked about salaries, wages, commissions, rents, interest income, dividend income, bonuses, commissions, royalties, all the ways that most people get their money. You have to reduce that amount as much as possible and try to get on the other side. Capital gains income and corporate income. So you want to reduce your tax burden. You want to be like Warren Buffett. You want to be like the big players in the game. You want to be like the rich who keep getting richer because they can hold more of the money that they earn. Then you have to shift where you get your income from. So start making that transition. Get out of the ordinary income world. That's where ordinary people are, and ordinary people pay the heaviest burden in taxes, and shift over to where the wealthiest are, which is in capital gains and corporate income. So hopefully that answered your questions. Like, subscribe, share, keep the questions coming, and I'll see you next Tuesday.